Robert E. Harvey, a man of vision.
Robert E. Harvey Sr., affectionately known as Bob, was born July 24, 1933. An Elizabeth City native, he attended both elementary and high school there. In 1958, Mr. Harvey received his Bachelor of Science degree in Education from Elizabeth City State University, graduating valedictorian and summa cum laude. He went on to receive his Master of Science degree in Education from Duke University and North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. Between 1958 and 1963, Bob taught at Short Journey School in Johnston County, North Carolina.
Mr. Theodore Nixon discusses his acquaintance with Bob Harvey.
We was at Short Journey with Ms. Cooper as a teacher there. I knew him, from early on in his professional career, so I knew him, but that's about all. I didn't know anything that was going on with him at the time.
He was hired and mentored by Eva J. Cooper, graduate of Shoah University. It is believed that the mentoring relationship strongly encouraged Bob to develop his leadership skills and, more importantly, give back to his alma mater. During 1963 to 1968, Bob served as principal of Ralph Bunche High School, an all-black high school in King George, Virginia. Bob was instrumental in ensuring a smooth transition of integrating what's known today as King George High School, formerly an all-white high school. Due to Bob's successful desegregation efforts at King George, Virginia, he was hired to be principal of H.B. Sugg High School in Pitt County, North Carolina in 1969. He aided the Board of Education in desegregating the school system. During the fall of 1969, Mr. Harvey led a group of principals from Johnston County to protest ongoing discrimination practices against black principals within the school system.
I'm reminded of this visit of black principals. It was a state effort, so what we did, we tried to get together principals from all over the state who had been affected, or the Teachers Association was affected, so we were trying to get as many principals as we could to go talk with the state superintendent. We weren't of the understanding that all black principals should be made principals, but we didn't think all white principals should be made principals and all black principals should be made assistant principals. We thought that was feminist for us.
In 1970, Bob was offered a senior level position with the federal government, a Title IV program as an educational specialist in Charlottesville, Virginia.
When Bob came, he didn't come to the Office for Civil Rights. He came to the Title IV office in the Department of Education. We were not in the same office, but we were in the same building because Title IV was the arm of the HEW that went out and did the planning for the desegregation. And the Office for Civil Rights was the one who enforced the plans that had been developed for the school districts. Our thing was to draw up the lines for which schools would be put together, would be integrated with which other schools, which schools would be closed, and having them, I suppose, set up busing routes.
In 1973, Bob was promoted to the Division Director of Higher Education, Region 3.
Then after that, a few years, they were kind of phasing out Type 4 because apparently the schools had already, all the plans had been drawn and what have you. In that job, Bob's responsibility, he became the division director. His responsibility was to oversee the same kinds of things with state-run colleges and universities to get them to desegregate. And would you believe, not long after that, here we are again. We were together in North Carolina, and all of a sudden, here we are again, working basically in the same building, in the same office.
He remained in this position until he retired in December of 1989. Bob's successful journey into the federal government allowed him to dedicate more time to his first love, his alma mater, ECSU. In 1977, Bob spearheaded the formation of the Tri-State Alumni Chapter, servicing New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware.
Ms. Ella Ivory discusses her first encounter with Bob and the formation of the Tri-State Alumni Chapter.
I met Robert Harvey and 1977-78, in that time frame, when he helped to organize the first chapter, the alumni chapter here and for the tri-state area of Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Well, he first established it, started in the winter of 1977, and he had gotten, I have a letter that I had come across that shows he had gotten a call from the then director of National Alumni Relations at the university, the late Marion Mitchell, who asked him if he would be instrumental in starting a chapter in the area, and he embraced that idea. And Marion Mitchell and Tom Evans came to his home in New Jersey to grant us the charter to establish what was then a tri-state alumni chapter for those three states I previously named, mostly as president. And he was president of the organization for a while, and he also worked very, very hard with the membership, trying to expand the membership. He provided a list of names that he was able to obtain from the university to locate all of the known alumni in the tri-state area, and he would provide membership lists to all of us, and in an attempt to help locate alumni and make them aware that there was an established alumni chapter for this City State University in Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and encourage alumni to become an active part of the chapter.
Dr. Jimmy Jenkins reflects on Bob and his work.
I met him when I was the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at Elizabeth City. First thing I know, he served as president of the Alumni Association, and I know he also served on the foundation board. He was the person who organized the summer retreats and was the person responsible for making sure all the things got taken care of from that end. He held almost every position in the Alumni Association that there is.
Some of Bob's greatest accomplishments include the establishment of lifetime membership and a $200,000 insurance policy that was given to the university as scholarship money for any student attending the school.
He had an idea that we could establish a trust fund by buying an insurance policy, and the dividends that would come from the insurance policy would be used to establish a trust fund. That was a dream of Bob's, and the chapter members embraced that idea. So we bought a $200,000 insurance policy, and after we held it for about 4 years so that it could amortize and we could get the dividends from it, then we turned it over to the university and made them the beneficiary.
That was a pivotal point to let alumni know that you can make a major contribution to the college at the appropriate time. The college can take advantage of those resources, and I think that sent a great signal to a lot of other alumni that something like that could be done. And since that time, several others who have followed in Bob's footsteps, but Bob was the first one, at least that I remember under my administration, that took that giant step and said, this is what I'm going to do for my alma mater.
Dr. Jenkins discusses how Bob's government position allowed him to support his alma mater in other ways.
Right, U.S. Department of Education. He helped us to stay in compliance on certain programs that were funded by the Department of Education. He was a consultant to help oversee and make sure that we knew how to get the programs and keep those programs moving forward. And so the fact that Bob was there at the U.S. Department of Education meant that he was able to look out for historically black colleges at a time when, there still was a strong argument for why should they provide resources for these institutions. Bob's strategic position helped him to be able to make that argument, not only because he believed in it, but as a product of one. He was able to show that what these institutions can produce. And so I think he had a great influence there as well.
In 2002, the Tri-State Alumni Chapter voted on formally changing its name to the Robert E. Harvey Tri-State Alumni Chapter.
Yours truly made a recommendation to the body at the end of 2001, leading into 2002, that serious consideration be made to honoring Bob and his legacy with changing the name of the chapter from Tri-State Alumni Chapter to the Robert E. Harvey Chapter. And the late Catherine McCarran suggested that instead of Robert E. Harvey Chapter, keep in Tri-State, because that was original, but he had suggested from the beginning. So it was then unanimously agreed that the chapter would be named the Robert E. Harvey Tri-State Alumni Chapter. Bob was informed that this would be done. He expressed his deepest gratitude on the eve of our luncheon, where the official naming was to be done and the unveiling of the new banner with the new name of the chapter passed.
Bob passed away from his illness with lymphoma cancer on June 28, 2002. Bob Harvey's life has left an indelible imprint on so many lives.
I found him early on to be just a really an alumnus who loved the school, because I always said love is not verbal, love is action. And Bob demonstrated time and time again that he loved Elizabeth City State University by the things that he did. And when I became president, or chancellor really, when I became chancellor of Elizabeth City State University, I considered Bob as one of my closest allies. He was always there, and he didn't have, and it wasn't about him gaining any kind of special advantage by doing it. So really, we became friends.
He was a warm, kind, very compassionate person. He loved his family, he loved his church, loved his university family, his alumni family. There was nothing that Bob wouldn't do to help anyone. He was a good person, he was unselfish, and he was always well respected and well loved.
As far as his personal effort for Elizabeth City, I think it was outstanding. I went to Shaw, and Shaw didn't have any insurance policy on me. I've never been head of the Alumni Association, never spent the hours going to Elizabeth City, and going to Shaw that he did to Elizabeth City, or been involved with having affairs, planning them, and having them fundraising activities for Shaw like he did for Elizabeth City. So, there's no question in my mind that Elizabeth City was a great benefactor of Bob and Esther's efforts on their behalf. Well, I think those fundraising things he did.
Championing all those fundraising.
He was the moving force for Elizabeth City. What do you say more than that?